Yes, welcome back to Why in the Morning. And if you're a follower of Why in the Morning and Entrepreneurship Tuesday in particular, you know that we try to give you tips on how to make some buck. And Forex trading is not an exception. And we have had discussions on Forex trading here before, but today we take it a notch higher. We have the one familiar face and his teacher on set, Mr. Kadenge Lenin and David, all the way from Dallas. Karibuni sana.
Pleasure.
I hope umemfundisha hata karibu.
Yes, he knows Karibu Jambo.
Jambo. All right, so since you're mgeni, you can introduce yourself. Your camera is number 4.
All right, good morning. So my name is David Hoyt. Most people know me as Mr. GJ because I'm known for trading one particular currency pair, Great Britain pound versus Japanese yen. I'm originally from Freeport, Grand Bahama. I reside in Dallas, Texas for the past 17 years. Recently, this year, I've went full-time in trade in the foreign exchange market, and I'm just grateful to be here in Kenya for the first time to just share my knowledge that I've been able to accumulate from the market.
All right, what do you love so far about Kenya so much?
The food.
The food? Which one in particular?
Yeah, it was some meat and beef where I had to eat it with my hand.
Oh, you had to eat it with your hand?
Yeah.
Was ugali there as well? I hope there was some ugali.
Yes.
Ugali was there. Yes. Welcome to Kenya and enjoy your stay. Lenin, wanakujua wengine lakini wengine maybe wanakuona for the first time. So your camera is number 3 there. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Lenin Kadenge and I'm a Forex trader. Since the beginning of this year, I've been doing it full time, and it's a pleasure again to be with you once again.
All right. Mr. Lenin, is this your first time meeting your teacher in person?
Yes, this is my first time meeting him in person. Unlike the other times we have been interacting and meeting online. But now this is my first time, and I'm very happy to have him around. You're
very happy to have him around. I'm very happy to have him around as well.
Yes.
How does it feel like to meet people you've interacted with online and you've impacted some knowledge in them and they've used it to propel their lives forward? Now you can see it in living color. How does it feel?
It's a priceless feeling because, you know, day in, day out, you know, with technology nowadays, we do meetings that's called Zoom, where everybody, you know, around the world just logs on and you can actually interact with each other, you know, show them, you know, what you're, you know, teaching them. They can show you, you know, what they're trying to learn through, you know, the screens. And, you know, it's kind of like you know them in person. So when the first time I walked, you know, out of the airport, it was so much love, like I met them for the longest. So, you know, it's just a priceless feeling that, you know, you're able to impact so many lives all over the world. And now to come here and see, you know, yesterday we were just trading in one room and everybody was making money, and the smiles and the excitement that everybody have from learning this skill set that a few months or maybe a year ago nobody had a clue on how to do it.
So it's a priceless feeling, you say. All right. What was your journey? How did you get into Forex trading yourself? Before we get to you were teaching others.
So, you know, I'm 31 years old. You know, I've been, you know, around money from the age of 20, you know, from the insurance industry. So I was not, you know, shy on basically, you know, investing. I wasn't, you know, scared to invest and take a risk. So when the opportunity came, you know, to me about trading, you know, I was eager to learn how to do it because, you know, everybody told me that you can make money from your cell phone and on your laptop. And 90% of the day, my cell phone is in my hand. So I was able to capitalize on, you know, learning how to trade off of my cell phone and make a lot of money, you know, from my cell phone instead of, you know, helping other people make money from, you know, other avenues that you use on your phone.
All right.
So it was pretty decent.
Like devil tapping on Instagram and commenting.
Absolutely. I didn't want to call it out.
All right, I said it for you. All right, so how long did it take you to learn before you felt like, okay, I think I can help other people?
So when I started, you know, the platform, you know, was basically we would learn, you know, from IM Academy, where we had our mentor. Her name was is Dr. Kathy Kirkland, and she would, you know, jump on early morning sessions where she actually trained you how to trade and help you get into the market. So basically I did that for 3 months before I even understood what the market looked like. Kind of looked like an EKG machine, you know, at the hospital. And, you know, after after 3 months, basically,
It's scary.
yeah, it is, in the beginning, and it's normal, but because it's something foreign that you don't have no clue about. So I did it for about 3 months. And I just, got a wake-up call where I needed to learn how to trade by myself and not depend on anybody else to help me make money. So I was able to dive into the market. I have a buddy in the Bahamas, Jamal Green, that basically he dissected the information in the academy. And then, a few other mentors that, I was able to come up with my own strategy where now there's thousands of people that's following that strategy. So to be able to do that, within 2 years, for me that's more of an accomplishment because I had no clue how to trade. Now, I don't brag too much of myself, but I'm one of probably one of the best scalp traders out there right now.
All right, I like that. I like the confidence as well. And Lennon has shared with me before that anybody can learn how to trade as long as you have the basic arithmetic knowledge. Can you reinforce that? Can you?
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. Nothing in life we're having comes easy. So you have to put in the work. So the work is, actually education. So you go to school basically to learn, like if it was business, you would go to school to study business, then come out and you get a business, accounting job. Well, in this, you're basically learning the skill set. Once you learn the skill set, nobody could take it away from you. It's kind of like riding a bike. Once you learn how to ride a bike as a child, no matter how old, you are, you could always jump on that bike and ride. Even if
swimming is the same thing
Same
as well.
thing.
All right. I like. So, Mr. Lennon,
Yes.
when I look at Forex traders, you guys move as a unit. You guys have the love so much. You share a lot of information.
Yes.
What is the importance of networking when it comes to this business? Because you guys are moving as a group most of the time when I interact with you.
I think the importance of us moving as a group and the networking aspect of it is what I normally call the third eye, because the market is so huge. There is something in the market I might have noticed that maybe someone else can have a different view of it. So having that different view on how to go about the market and then putting that together, because at the end of the day, there is a phrase he likes using that in the market, always the house will always win. But if you put your synergy together as a team, you are definitely going to say, this is the guy we are targeting. And so if all we come together, and then we are able to come and win together as a team.
So together you're stronger. Together you have more information.
Yes.
Together you have different perspectives.
Yes.
Together you're wiser.
Together
that is what you say.
Because there is a strategy he knows, there is a strategy Wycliffe knows, there is a strategy I know. So you will really want to look at it when you want to make a fair decision, either to buy or sell, or to enter into this market. If there is a confirmation of both your strategy that now this is the direction to take, then you go into that market with a lot of confidence.
Wonderful, which leads to my next question. And now we have the emergence of artificial intelligence. And some people are claiming that I can sit and the computer software can do the trading for me. Is this true?
So you have systems, where you could actually, put a strategy in a system where the system actually helps you make that decision. I don't recommend just having a robot to call the trades for you. It's just because you don't want to be dumbfounded about the market, because, the market repeats itself and you have to analyze the market yourself to make the decision whether you're going to buy that currency or you're going to sell a currency. So I always, I look at it as, it helps you out, but it doesn't make the decision for you. So I wouldn't, basically just focus on letting a system.
All right.
Yeah.
It's supposed to support.
There
Yes.
you go.
All right. It's not meant to do the trading for you.
True.
Do you have anything to add on this?
Yeah, I think it's key because you look at again I'll ask the aspect of learning. You have invested in education, so you would really want to make use of that education in terms of what is it that I can help, or what is it that I can do towards really utilizing the knowledge I've acquired. Again, if you go to the robot way, you're just becoming lazy, and it is like he has said, it is there just to help. It's like, for example, right now we're in the digital world. We just can't sit back and say now we are in the digital world, let everything
be handled
Be
by,
handled. No,
by
no, we
machines
can't do
and
that.
robots.
It's hard.
It's hard. We
Yes.
can never do that for sure.
Yes.
All right, White54 channel on Twitter, White54_channel on Instagram, and White54 on Facebook is the way to interact with us. If you have any questions, bring them our way. And remember, we have a question on Facebook. Are you preparing for your retirement? That is a question on Facebook. So we are looking forward to your feedback. We'll be sampling them towards the end of the show. So back to you, my people. It is said that when there's tension, when there's that this market thrives on tension.
Absolutely.
Is it true?
So the way the market works, you have, certain different currency pairs that's volatile, that has, high volume, and some currency pairs that don't. For example, Great Britain and the US dollar, kind of fluctuates a lot in the market depending on, the economy, politics. If you have information, or news that, came out, that can make the market volatile. And basically when the market's volatile, some people can capitalize and make a ton of money when the market moves. So it's a good thing when you do have the tension and you have, news that makes that happen. Because if you're in the right direction and you analyze the market right, you can make a lot of money.
All right, then where are the ethics then? Like,
so you just have to, so what I usually recommend is regardless of what's going on in the countries, I recommend, following your strategy. So when you follow a strategy, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. So for example, right now we're dealing with Brexit. All right, so Brexit, it fluctuates the market a lot. If we have a no Brexit deal, then the Great Britain pound would basically drop to the ground. But if you're analyzing the market with your strategy, even if it drops, you can capitalize on making money in either direction. So it doesn't matter what direction the market's going. You just have to know what direction you need to be in. It's either going to go in a buy or go in a sell. And you make money in any direction. So a lot of people they get it confused with the stock market. With the stock market, they teach you to buy low and sell high. With the foreign exchange market, basically you make money whatever direction it's going. You just have to be in that direction.
So that is the main difference between Forex trading and the stock trading.
Absolutely.
So in Forex trading, you make money either way.
Yes.
Buying or selling.
Yes.
In the stock market, you're taught how to buy at low and sell at high.
Absolutely.
The major difference. Thank you very much for that information right there. All right, so recently, I'd like to get your opinions on this. We had, since you're currency professionals, we have the West Africa, the ECOWAS, talking about having a single currency and doing away with the old currencies and having one currency called the ECO.
Yes.
And some people are hopeful about this, some people are not really hopeful about this.
Yes.
Some people feel like the French colonies are going to be transferring the power to Nigeria since it's the biggest economy there and whatnot. Do you think it's the right step towards economic freedom for West Africa?
I think, again, it all depends with the economic bloc of each and every region. Having in mind that in the West African region, they thrive so much on oil and we have like gold and cocoa. So if you find out that these commodities are part of the larger market in the world, then if they come together, it's a plus.
It's a plus for
basically, them. They are basically putting their resources together and coming on the table and saying, we are coming into this market. We also have a say when it comes to issues of oil or when it comes to issues of gold or cocoa, because they I think they're the third largest in the world. Yes, so
supplies,
yes, so when they come out of that, and like I said in the beginning, unity definitely gives you a voice.
All right.
And so to me, as they continue to pursue that, they are pursuing that with the fact in mind that they have what it takes to move or for their voice to be heard. And
so unity is always the way.
It is always the way.
Unity is always the way for you. I won't put you on the spot so much. Maybe these are African issues, you don't understand them per se, but maybe you can give us what you think.
So with that, you know, he kind of answered that right, but it's kind of the same thing with any, you know, country. When you decide to, you know, put your, you know, your foot down and take responsibility for your country, I mean, you have a say. You know, and most of the time when you have a say, you know, the people have a say. So with different, you know, things that you said, cocoa and, you know, gold and stuff like that, by you guys having that here, you know, if they decide to go with one currency, you know, I would strongly recommend it. That's just my take on that.
Makes them stronger, for sure. It's time for the moment of truth. Ever since we started this conversation, people have complained a little bit that we never show them how to do this thing, for sure. So we'll be having a demonstration led by the teacher himself. And yes, we have the first slide on screen. So today you learn how to trade on Why in the Morning. And Mr. Lenin, you had a disclaimer before we start this.
Yes, I think the disclaimer is basically what we are showing you is out of the strategy. Because again, as you go into the market, you need to have a strategy that you need to follow. So my strategy will work for me until the time whereby I'm saying it doesn't work. But again, if you just hook on it quickly and maybe along the way it seems it doesn't work for you, and you are kind of, I think Lenin gave me a wrong strategy. And then that is the disclaimer we are putting it. This is someone else's strategy until you come to a point whereby you have your own. Like we normally say, marry your own. That is when you can say, now this is working for me. But whatever we are going to show is basically a strategy that again is subject to someone again having a different opinion on it.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So we have the disclaimer right there. Without much further ado, let's get it. So what platform is this first?
So right now what we're looking at is basically a free platform that's called TradingView. Most traders, they basically use this to analyze the trade, analyze the market, maybe mark up their charts from here. The platforms that we usually use is called MT4, which is MetaTrader 4, and this is simply done on your cell phone. Where you can actually enter and exit a trade, or if you decide to do it on your laptop, you can download the MT4 MetaTrader 4 on your laptop. So TradingView is basically where we usually go and just analyze the market, mark it up, and make our decisions there. All right.
All right. So this TradingView.com.
Yep.
Is the name.
Yep. So what are you looking at right now is basically, if you look to the top left, it basically says GBP USD. That stands for Great Britain Pound versus the Japanese, the US dollar. I'm sorry. So right now, you would have to the bottom of the screen is a RSI, stands for Relative Strength Index. What this do is this measures the market on the volatility. So for example, when I'm teaching my students with this particular indicator, anytime the market is over 70 on the RSI, that means it is overbought. And if something is overbought, it's going to turn into a sell. All right. And anytime the market on the RSI is under 30, that means it is oversold. And if something is oversold, what is it going to do? Go into a buy. So this is just a small indication, that could help you make a decision either to buy or sell. All right. Also, we have on the screen where you have a cloud. It's called a Ichimoku Kinko Hayo. And basically this indicator basically is a one-glance equilibrium where it measures the market, and we make our decisions in the market from that indicator. All right, so and there's a few other things in there on the screen, basically on the. There you go, we're back. So there's a few other things that we look with the indicator. You have something called a TK cross, which is the Tekinsen and the Kinjinsen. And what that is it basically helps you make a decision also if you're going to jump on in a buy or sell.
Just say that again.
Tekinsen and Kinjinsen, we call it the TK cross.
The TK
and basically,
cross.
It's a red and blue line. And basically it tells you, okay, if the red line, just simple. If the red line is above the blue line, you look to buy. If the red line is below the blue line, you look to sell. And this is just another form of indications that can help you. So I usually tell everyone to make sure you have about 3 to 4 indicators that you go with, because the stronger your confirmation, the stronger the chances you're going to come out and profit in the market.
What is the maximum number of indicators I can I can go with?
I always recommend maybe 3 to 4.
Or 3 to 4?
Yeah.
But ideally, like what is the maximum number?
As much as you want to learn. You
All
can,
right.
yeah.
Yes,
So indicator is just basically something that would help you follow a strategy. You know, so you can have as much indicators you want, but you would be confused yourself because there's so much information behind each indicator.
All right, so the TK, what do you call it?
TK cross.
The TK cross and the...
The TK cross is basically stands for the Tkinson, which is the red line, and the Kingensen, which is the blue line. So the Tkinson is basically the signal line. It tells you the direction, you know, of the candles. So you have candlesticks that's basically, you have buyers and sellers in the market fighting. That's really what it is.
Alright.
And basically the Tkinson, which is the red line, tells you the direction of the candles.
All right, so maybe in brief, the 4 indicators. Some 4 indicators that you go with
so
from time to
basically,
time.
so the Ikimoku Kinko which is the cloud, that's basically an indicator that we use. Okay, the relative strength index, which is the RSI, that's another indicator we use. Then you have that goes with the cloud. I use the TK cross, which is the red and blue line. So for example, like I said, if the red cross above, that's a buy. If the red cross below, that's a sell. And then also dealing with the cloud, every time you have a dip in the cloud, it considers it like a magnet. So a magnet does what? Pull towards you, right? So it pulls the candles towards the cloud.
Wonderful. So out of this, what we are seeing on screen, some trade has been
Absolutely.
made.
So for example, the market here, this is GBP USD. So we have probably thousands of people that basically that's in this trade right now. We went in it for a sell this morning, so everybody will be sitting down waiting for it to hit our take profit. And when you hit a take profit, it's kind of like a payday for you.
It's a payday.
And this can happen multiple times throughout the day.
All right, so how long do you have to wait?
It just depends on the market. Sometimes this thing can hit in seconds. Sometimes it could hit in minutes. Sometimes it could take days.
Right.
But you know, it's in seconds. You know, it can definitely happen. Especially remember we talked about volatility in the market. So if you have news that comes out, basically that would help the trade hit faster. So
another thing I learned from Lenin, you have to be patient in this business.
absolutely, if you're not patient, you'll learn patience.
You learn. All right, what do you have on screen right now?
So basically, this is off of your cell phone. This is what you call MetaTrader 4. So if you see the logo to the top right, left, that's what you can actually go to your app store and download. Now here's the thing. We can show you and give you this information, but you have to learn it, because if you just go in and try to figure this out, you'll be completely lost. And this is where the education part comes in. But what you have on the left is the quotes, and that's basically the currency pairs. That is, you know, one country versus the next country. And like I told you in the beginning, you know, the economy, you know, politics, you know, those things affect, you know, that particular country. So what it's telling you is, you know, like for example, to the top you have AUD CHF. You know, under it you have AUD CAD. That's the Australian dollar versus the Canadian dollar. So that means, okay, for example, in Australia, if something positive comes out news-wise, it would strengthen the Australian dollar and it would weaken the Canadian dollar when it's versus, it's like a fight, you against somebody else, and basically that's all it's doing. So like the next one is AUD JPY, which is the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. Same thing, if something, you know, comes out that weakens the Australian dollar, then the Australian dollar would drop against the Japanese yen, and the Japanese yen would go up against it. So in that example, you would want to be in a sell. And that's how you basically jump in trades.
All right, I like that. So it's basically me watching a fight and analyzing the fight.
Absolutely.
Who's winning?
Absolutely.
Who's strong?
Absolutely.
I felt like, what do we have on screen right now?
So this would be, you know, step number 2. So the first step would be you choose the pair that you're going to trade. Okay. The second step would be basically entering your margin. So if you to the top under market execution, you have 0.05. Now this is the key thing that when I'm training I tell people to focus on. That is called a lot size, and that number fluctuates depending on your account balance. So one of the biggest questions that people always have is how much money do you make from doing it? Your lot size is going to determine the amount of money you make from it. And we train everyone to use 1 to 3% of their account balance to actually enter and exit the market. So all the lot size is the currency unit you're going to buy or sell.
All right. So you encourage people to use what percentage?
Absolutely, 1 to 3%. It's proper risk management, because if you don't, you could have a bad day. So 1 to 3%, make sure it gives the market, you know, time to move. You know, and everybody is a perfect trader. For example, what goes up must do what?
Must come down.
And what goes down?
Well, go up sometime.
Absolutely, you're a great trader now.
I love it. It sounds traded. All right. What do you have on screen right now?
So right here is basically after you get into a trade, you have the trades to the
This
left.
is the third step when I'm using the mobile app.
This is great news. This is the trade is done. You basically made money.
All right.
So for example, you see to the top GBP versus JPY. That's the Great Britain pound versus the Japanese yen. So basically, he went in that trade at 5 cents, 0.05, and if you look to the far right, he made $3.72 from that trade. So the 0.05 is what we said the lot size is. So that determines the amount of money you'll make from that. So the bigger that number is, the more you would make on the far right. And this is like the end result, you know. So when we look at, you know, the end result of this, you know, what I do is I tell everyone, you have to trade and think like the banks, because the banks do this every day. Every day you're asleep, they're in the market trading, making money on your money while you're asleep. They take the profit, keep the profit, and put your money back in the bank.
Wow.
That's a fact.
So that is what the banks do
Every single day,
while I'm sleeping.
every country, that's how the banks make their money.
And I can do that with my own money.
You could do it with your own money.
In the bank. I can do it with my own money in the bank.
No, they do it for you.
All right. But say I want to trade and I want to put some money in it. Where do I deposit my money?
So you have a broker that you would basically have. It's a platform that you would use. Each country, or, you know, different, you know, persons. I know you guys have a few brokers over here that you use, but you would deposit into a broker, and the broker is it's like a bank in a sense. So you deposit your money into a broker. The broker syncs with this app that's called MetaTrader 4, so they're communicating with each other. You go in the market, you trade, you make money. If you're ready to withdraw, you withdraw back through the broker, back into your bank account.
All right. When it comes to putting my money in the bank, we have KDIC, which are they insure the deposits. When I deposit money, it's insured by a body, so that when the bank messes up, I can still get my money, even if it's over a period of time. So, is my money safe when I put it under this broker?
So with the broker, he could explain more about the brokers you guys have in
with the broker, like for example, the two brokers we have in the country, our money is safe, guaranteed, because again they are capital market authority regulated. And so CMA having a Forex, an online Forex department basically oversees that to see to it that whatever monies we deposit with the broker is very safe.
It's very safe.
Yes.
All right. When I look at my balance and see 1,000 shillings and 83 cents, the 83 cents doesn't really matter to me as much, but the 83 cents matters so much when it comes to this trading.
Absolutely. You know, I tell everybody, you know, every penny counts, because you have something called compound interest. All right. So like I was explaining with the banks, for example, if you was to get a mortgage on a house, you know, you would get a 20-30 year mortgage, and within that time frame with the interest, compound interest, you're going to pay almost 2-3 times what the house is worth. All right. So when you have pennies that you could compound into larger amounts, you know, any amount, any profit is good profit. That's what I tell all my students, you know, because here's the thing, that's money you didn't have. So for example, let's just say you was to put 1,000 Kenyan shillings in the bank, right? At the end of if you just put it in the bank and you left it in the bank for a month, at the end of the month, how much would you have there? Would it be more or would it be less?
It depends on the type of account I put.
If it's just a regular checking account, that you may have a fee. I don't know if you guys have fees over here, bank fees, but if you just leave the money in the bank, you know, it's not going to grow.
Yes, in a current account, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I always tell, you know, all the students, think like, you know, if you have that money in a bank where it's not growing anything, even if you was to make $5 or basically, you know, a 5% growth on that in the market, that's still a plus. So the 83 cents, I love every penny I can get from it.
All right, every penny counts when it comes to trading. All right, so how can people get to this level you guys are at with the trading from scratch?
Okay.
Somebody who has never traded before is watching us right now and would like to be like you guys.
So what I would recommend for somebody that haven't traded before and is watching, you know, I would tell you first, you know, you have to put your mind to it that, hey, this is not, you know, it's nothing easy. You have to put in the work to learn. It's education, you know. So the education part of it is, you know, where we basically promote a company that's called I Am Academy, you know, so that's what we actually do. And through that academy, it teaches you how to trade from not knowing anything about the market to being an advanced trader. And like he put a disclaimer, for example, you can start trading today and 2-3 months later you can be a better trader than me. It doesn't matter, you know, who you are, you know, as long as you put in the work and you actually go and analyze the market from the knowledge and information you was able to get, then basically the sky's the limit. There's no cap on your money. There's no cap on the knowledge you can receive from the market or from different academies. Basically, that's what you shoot for. So this where we started was, you know, from I Am Academy. You know, then depending on, you know, your growth. For me, basically, you know, I was able to build a brand where basically I have a huge following base that I train, and you know, and that's MrGJPipWalking.com. So if you wanted to go on MrGJPipWalking.com, you could actually go and kind of see my journey from when I started to train and see, you know, what we do, you know, see the record right now. You know, the record from me and my system is 98%. So that means 98% of the time we're profiting in the market, 2% we're having a bad day, and that's pretty strong, you know, in any, you know, with anybody that's trading. Usually they tell you a good trader is 60%, 40%. That means you're winning 60% of the time,
and you're losing 40% of the time.
Right now, I'm proud to say, confident that, you know, we're 98%, and you know, just the experience of being in a different country. You could do this anywhere in the world, as long as you have Wi-Fi. They picked me up from the airport a few days ago, and from the airport to my hotel room, when I was checked in, I was wondering why he was sitting so close to me. Every trade I jumped in, he jumped in the same trade. He was making money with me on the way to the airport.
Wow.
Mr.
Lilith, that's why you have him on set. That's why you have him on set. Thank you very much. How can they get to the website again?
So the website
to see your journey and your classes. So
the website is called Mr. GJ.
Just look them straight into the eyes, right?
Mr. GJ Pipwalking.com. So MrGJPipWalking.com. And pip walking is a terminology we use in the market. Pips is basically you making money in the market.
Yes.
All right, so pip walking.
Absolutely.
PIP.
PIP.
Right. We're about to be pip walking. All right, Mr. Linden. Yes. Before you go, since you understand this country better than him, during the elections, you know, 1 year to the elections, and after the elections, we always have problems in this country. We're looking at history, and it affects a lot of business. Is this one business that is affected by this kind of situation?
No, the geopoliticals of especially Kenya will not affect this market, because we are dealing with an international market. It's an international market platform, whereby the only effects to this market are, like he mentioned, the superpowers. That is real. That is a fact, because they are the guys who call shots in this market. But whatever happens in this country, as long as you are doing forex trading, you are not touched at all.
So we can still trade.
You still
That's not be scared.
The only day we can't trade is on Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
Yes, but the rest of the days, when it is a weekday, you are able to trade.
Is that official, actually?
Yes, it's official.
No trading on
all over
Christmas
the world,
Day.
it's only on Christmas Day.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, guys, for coming through. I'm looking forward to having you again, Lenin. I'm looking forward to having you again as well. When are you leaving the country?
I'm leaving on Thursday, but I should be, back here next month on the 21st.
Also, if they miss you this time, they can catch you next time.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, guys, for coming. We appreciate you. And Forex trading is another way you can make some money, courtesy of my friends here, Lenin and David, on Entrepreneurship Tuesday on Why in the Morning. My name is Barry Moses, or it's Barry on social media. We still have a question on our Facebook. Are you preparing for your retirement? And how could I forget that? Are you guys preparing for your retirement?
Absolutely. You know, like I told you, I'm 31 years old, and right now, the trip here was a last minute. They told me to go ahead and come over. We schedule out your day. I was able to leave everything and just come. You know, and that's the thing. Financial freedom. So right now I consider myself retired. I
just sold the mic steady, yeah?
I said yes. Right now, I consider myself a 31-year-old retired young man. Because like I told you, when I got the call and they said that, hey, we have an event set up for you, within 2 days, I was basically on a plane heading to Kenya. And
that is the power of financial freedom, right there.
Oh, absolutely.
So what I'm getting from you, when we talk retirement, they should not be looking at 65 or 70 years.
True.
You can retire at 31.
Yes.
And here's the thing. This is what everybody, it could be Kenya, it could be the United States, it could be the Bahamas. What they teach you in school is, the 40-40 plan. Basically, you go, you live 40 years of your life, right? You go to work for 40 years to retire on 40% of your income. And right now, before we, end, I didn't want to forget there was a guy that I was introduced from Lenny, and it was Dr. Sam.
Yes.
And, his whole vision of us trading, me being able to train him and teach him how to trade, was to impact 5,000 Kenyan youths. And that vision of and I just met Lenny for the first time. I met Dr. Sam for the first time, and it's like you share that same passion where you want to change, where you're from. You
want to change lives.
You want to change lives.
You want to
that was
poverty.
huge. Where he wants to change 5,000 Kenyan youth. Young men and ladies, by learning how to trade in the market, because I think when we was having a conversation, the average person here makes what, maybe $200-300 a month. There is so much easy ways where you can basically make. I made a statement with my friend over there yesterday while I was training. We were in a group. I made $300 and something within maybe a few hours.
And somebody has to wait for a whole month.
They have to make
after
a
hard labor.
whole month. And we're sitting down in a restaurant, talking, laughing, having fun amongst ourselves, and trading, making money on our cell phones and our computers. And I was able to make that basically in a few hours, and somebody works a whole month. So. And that was a small day, because I was complaining. She asked me if I had a good day trading, and I told her, I said, this is one of my slowest days ever. And she said, she made a statement. She said, no, you should be grateful, because somebody have to work a whole month. The waitress here is not going to make that all month.
That's how you learned about that.
And that was, that's the passion that Dr. Sam, Lenny, Helen, everybody, they want to change the kids' lives. People that's struggling, in the economy, that's working 40 years, that don't have nothing to retire on. You said that's the question.
Yes.
Are you going to, get ready for your retirement? Most people aren't. They can't. And that's why you see after they retire at 60, they still have to go back and work again.
Yes, stats show that 96% of Kenyans pay that fee, are forced to pay it. Only 4% pay it voluntarily, which is worrying, by the way. Wow. And thank you very much for the knowledge, because you can retire at 31. You can retire at 35. You can retire at 40.
Oh, yes.
You can define your own life. You can define your own destiny.
Okay.
When we talk retirement, we are not talking about 65 or 70 years anymore.
True.
Courtesy of Dave and Lenin here. So be sure to head to our Facebook and answer that question. We'll be sharing your opinion towards the end of the show. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that down.
Thank you.